Hi, I'm Jada from Girl from the Coast Designs. I create knitting patterns and tutorials designed with structure, clarity and care. In this video, I'm going to walk through 3 related cast-on techniques: the cable cast-on, the alternating cable cast-on, and finally Judy's magic cast-on using the cable cast-on logic within it. I'll also show you how each one looks in a finished garment, so you can see why you might choose one over another. So starting with the cable cast-on, this is one of my most used cast-ons because it creates a firm, structured edge that blends cleanly into ribbing, cables and textured fabric. So we start with a slip knot. The first stitch is worked through the slip knot as if we were to knit. And we pull that stitch and we put it on the needle. Each stitch after that is worked between the 2 stitches, not through it. And we make a loop over the needle and slip it on. And just make a new loop over the needle and slip it on. And that creates a nice chain edge. As you can see here on this finished garment, this is the Tudor twist hat. This is what the edge looks like in practice. So a beautiful, nice, neat, even edge that firmly holds what is a rather loose ribbing in terms of 2x2 in place and keeps its structure. The edge feels deliberate and supportive rather than decorative or loose. So the alternating cable cast-on builds directly on this idea, but allows you to cast on stitches in the order that they'll be worked. Knit stitches knitwise and purl stitches purlwise. This makes it particularly useful for ribbing, either 1x1, 2x2, or whatever combination you're working with. This creates a cast-on edge that flows seamlessly into the fabric. So the method is the same. You're still forming each stitch between existing stitches. So I'll start again with the slip knot. I'll work that first stitch through the needle, and they are both knit stitches. So if I'm doing a 2x2 ribbing, the next 2 need to be a purl. So I'm coming from the back of the stitches, creating the loop, pulling it on. Again, one from the back, create the loop, pull it onto the needle. Next 2 will be knit, so from the front, create a loop, pull it on, and another one from the front, create a loop, pull it on. And this has an appearance that is almost invisible. So in this instance, this is the Tudor twist vest. I've used the alternating cable cast on at the bottom. And if you have a look at this closely, you'll see that the knit stitches appear to come immediately out of the very edge. There is no cable along the bottom. And this creates a seamless finish. The final technique I want to show you today is Judy's magic cast-on, and specifically how the logic of the cable cast-on helps make sense of it. Judy's magic cast-on is often taught as a series of wraps, But I find it helpful to think of it instead as two interlocking cast-on edges being built at the same time. So when working Judy's magic cast-on, you're creating stitches on two needles simultaneously, forming a seamless center opening. Conceptually, each stitch is still being formed between strands of yarn, just as in the cable cast-on, but now those strands are held across two needles rather than one. So starting again, a slip knot through the first stitch, and this time we're holding that parallel stitch there. Taking a third needle, we're going to go through the bottom of the second stitch as if to knit, creating a stitch, and we're going to put it on that first needle. Just pull it a little to make it nice and firm. Through the back between those two stitches, creating a loop, putting it on the second needle. Through the back of that stitch we've just created, creating a loop, putting it on the first needle. And just one more time, so we've got 6 stitches. It's a little bit tricky with 3 needles, but anyway, there we are. So we've now got 6 stitches. To work it with the thread on this side or the yarn on this side, we're going to knit into that first stitch, knit it off, knit into the second stitch, knit it off, knit into the third stitch, and knit it off. That's the slip knot, so we can tighten that one in a moment, just like that. Slide these stitches down and knit around it. A little bit tricky. Come on. You know you want to. Got it. This first row is always the most tricky. Right, so if you look closely, you will see that that is actually a mesh of interlocked stitches that creates a seamless finish. This technique is often used on things like the toe-up sock, cowls, mittens, or in this example, this is a partially completed Harold bear on the soles of his feet. And so there is a seamless finish down there that was started with a magic cast on using the cable technique. So there is no seam, there is no ridge, it's just continuous fabric growing outwards from the center. All the 3 of these techniques are related. They're not interchangeable, but they are connected. The cable cast-on gives structure. The alternating cable cast-on refines that structure for ribbon. And Judy's magic cast-on, using a cable cast-on beginning, extends the same logic into seamless center-out construction. Choosing between them is less about difficulty and more about what the fabric needs to do at the edge. If you find this helpful, you're very welcome to like the video or subscribe for future tutorials. Thank you for spending time knitting with me. I'll see you next time.